Good morning, all the participants. Welcome to the global webinar series on security. Here we have Suresh Karothu, who is going to take a session on security fundamentals of Azure Cloud. Let me give a brief introduction about Suresh Karothu. He is from WINTel, our lead at Trustmark. Good morning, all the participants. He's a seasoned consulting technologist in IT infrastructure platform, network system storage, security architecture analysis, integration, and administration, in providing solutions for heterogeneous environments, in refreshing, merging, branching, upgrading, and migrating in the on-premises data center to cloud, AWS or Azure, virtualization architecture for VMware and vSphere, technologies running on both Linux and Intel-based platforms, disaster recovery in that solution architecture, hands-on system recovery and documentation, performance confidential analysis to assess the IT infrastructure like cloud systems, network, desktop, mobile, storage, media, security, and monitoring, and to existing IT infrastructure, identify system dependencies, collect requirements, and generate HLD or LLD blueprint for hosted IT architecture. So now he is with WINTel as a lead. So we are very happy you to, sir, here in our global webinar series. So over to you, sir. Suresh Karothu.
Thank you. Thank you, Chakravarti, sir. And greetings all the global techies, and especially to my fellow Indian brothers and sisters. And namaste to all, and thanks for the opportunity. Welcome to the global webinar series on cybersecurity conducted by Department of Computer Sciences and Engineering, JNTUV University College of Engineering, Vijayanagaram, in association with Internet Society Rural Development Special Interest Group, Information Security Awareness and Education, also Computer Society of India, National IT Professionals Association of Afghanistan, CDAC, and Cyber Peace Foundation. So thank you, everybody, and it's a great opportunity to back and give into my country. And let me introduce myself. Okay. My name is, I already mentioned, my name is Suresh Karothu. I'm hailed from Visakhapatnam. I born and brought up from Visakhapatnam. And then I migrated to New Zealand back in 2001, and then settled in United States of America back in 2008, January I moved here. So currently I'm working for the independent consultant, as Chakravarti sir mentioned, worked with several domains in support of infrastructure in their environment. The domains like banking sectors, airlines, and the credit cards, and healthcare benefits, and all these areas, like, and the last 5 years, coming to this Azure, like, for last 5 years, I'm having a working experience with the Microsoft Azure, and supported public, private, and government clouds. And previously I worked for the state government job, where we have used Microsoft Azure. And back in old days, if you guys remember, we used to call Classic, which is ASM. And now most people, Azure is insisting people to use Azure ARM, Azure Resource Manager. And I'm a certified solution architect expert in Azure, and at the same time in AWS also. And I'm from the VMware background, for VMware, both like virtual concepts from the VMware, at the same time from the Microsoft baby concept as Hyper-V. And so regarding the cybersecurity, I'm back in 2000, I think so, 2008, 2008 version 5 CEH. And if you see, my background is more like a WINTel background. I'm a Microsoft lover, and that is giving my bread and butter to me. So So my entire life, I worked with several Microsoft products in different data centers, which includes the world third biggest data center. The data center size of the data center is the size of a football court. So I'm just giving an example. The data center size of the data centers, where we work with several computers or servers. And coming to my topic today is security fundamentals of Azure Cloud, which the JNTUV offered me to give an offer to talk about on this one. And before going to that, let me give little introduction about how cloud came into the picture. Okay, forget about it this moment, cloud. What we learned from the COVID since March to so far, what we learned from the COVID, what IT companies are really thinking about future, and how the IT companies are benefited with the work from home. I will give you a small example. The companies back in like before, the percentage of the growth rate is over increased from 10 to 50%. Some companies even increased 70% from the work from home. Think about it. Think about it. Very simple. Now most of the companies are thinking about office space. You don't need to go for office. It means they can save the space. They can save the expenses. And think about the data centers. They don't need the data centers anymore. So do they really need an office space? During the COVID, most of the IT companies, as mentioned, progress bar is raised minimum 30% of their productivity when their employees are working from the home. Some of the companies are gained more percentage, and most of the employees are dedicatedly work more than 10 hours a daily. Now the triggering point is it worth to maintain offices? Not really. They can save rentals and they can save the maintenance. Also, why cloud is a more favorite to the majority of the IT companies today. Okay, when I'm going to the cloud, let we talk about first how the data center works. Say for example, like I'm just giving an overview. I don't want to jump into those things. Just I'm giving a basic before going to our topic. Back in old days, we used physical servers where we used each computer, or we can call a server, an application server or a web server or a data server or something infrastructure server. In this process, the companies were invested huge amount of money is just building servers and maintaining those servers in the data center. For this purpose, they need a dedicated data center where they need several engineers like architects, network engineers, system engineers, storage engineers, voice engineers, backup engineers, several service desk associates, something etc, 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 etc. Along with the dedicated dual power supply units and dual UPS units, dedicated IPS providers and manpower. So small companies have no arm to maintain. So they want a third-party data centers like in ESA, like IBM, Unisys, HP, some different companies. They host their company into their data centers. This is how the physical data centers evolved the history. Ongoing, what they learned is each server is using maximum 30% of their investment, and the remaining percent, 70% resource is ideal. So they're not using this exactly where we got the concept is called shared resources. This is how the virtual environment came into the picture. Most of the virtual environment in the market are Microsoft Hyper-V or the VMware. These two are the capture the majority of the market at this moment, and back in old days also. Some resources like CPU, memory, network, shared across the board. In this case, one physical server have multiple virtual servers we can slice, and usage is also increased. This is called in our Telugu, we call it is the paisa vasool. Whatever you invest, you want to use as much as you can. But still we need data centers. We need a manpower. Still, not only physical to run the virtual environment, still we need the dedicated resource and manpower. So in this scenario, the cloud came into this picture. Why? What are the usages? Okay, so let me move on to my next slide. Okay. So why? Why do you need to invest any IT maintenance? We do not need to maintain a disaster recovery site in another geographical locations, and we get easy assistance from the cloud. Say for an example, why cloud? People are asking why cloud? Easy to upgrade, it says. It's a lower cost of the ownership. Why I'm saying easy to upgrade? Say for an example, today data center is there. So every company I'm seeing in the ESM market, they are using mostly called rehosting, just lift and shift. We also called as is model. So they're taking the data center away from their location to the cloud somewhere in the world, wherever, or the nearest to one. So they want easy to upgrade and easy to, you can do whatever do in the cloud. You can do just spinning just like a button away, and the lower cost of ownership. I can give you an example. Some of the big companies like the who owns the data center, they charge us yearly like for an application server nearly $1,200 per month rental, web server $1,500 a rental, and database server $2,500 a month rental. So an average organization is paying nearly $1.5 million to the rentals only. And forget about the rentals and the coming to the backups. Every gig is like, average companies here charging like 5 cents to 5 cents to 2 cents to 7 8 cents. But when you go for the Azure has a cool blob. It charges something 0.010 cents per gig. In um, AWS, that is called a Glacier, that is charging something about 0.07 cents per gig. How cheap it is. Way long, Jameen Osman Farak. And always is up. You don't need to worry about it. Data center, something is server down and one engineer has to go and he need to check the power cable is there, blah, blah, blah. You don't need to worry about it. Forget about all these things. And disaster resistance. Every data center has a disaster location. Like, in America, like in three major parts, east, central, west. If you are a data center in the east, normally we go set up our disaster recovery in the central. If the central guy is there, either they'll choose east or the west side. Okay, so there is no IT maintenance. You don't need to worry about the people to do all these things. The low cost and offsite data storage is there. Productivity is anywhere in the world. You can do it. So this is about the cloud. So compared to the physical, compared to the virtual, cloud is always cheaper. This is easy to upgrade with a button away, as I mentioned. It is a really tough in on premises. Really, it is a tough in on premises. Okay. Now I'm going to the next slide. Okay. How many clouds are available? Okay. The deployment models. How many deployment models? I'm not talking about Azure at this moment. I'm talking about in general. How many? The basic is outside in the world people talk about. We know it is a public account, public cloud, or a private cloud, or a hybrid cloud. This what I'm going to do is once the seminar is completed, I'm converting all this into the PDF, and I'm going to hand over to the JNTUV Visionarum College, and you can take that one from there. Okay, so don't worry about it. I'm going to submit all my presentations and the work notes and everything. So that we have a public cloud, we have a private cloud, and a hybrid cloud. Most of the organization, they will use hybrid cloud. Other than this, we have two more clouds also we have, that is government cloud. And one more is there, defense cloud. So very few people have an access to work on the government people and a government cloud, and very few people have an opportunity to work with the defense cloud. So these but in the picture what I'm showing, these three clouds are the most available clouds in the market and where we mostly work on these areas. And coming to the cloud market share, how the clouds and what different clouds are available in the market. Of course, AWS, Amazon Web Services, are 33%. Current market share is 33%. And Azure is 18%, as mentioned. And then Google, IBM, and Alibaba is more like, I mentioned here, Alibaba is more like the primary cloud option in China. And Salesforce, that is another SaaS, very good SaaS product. People use for the SaaS models. We'll talk about SaaS, ISaaS, and PaaS models. And Oracle also another one. And the biggest market is between these two. Then why are we talking about Azure more nowadays? Like just like that, why people are talking more Azure, more Azure? Azure is a more popular one. The recent I can say in the defense, like a US $10 billion defense project, they got the business market in. So I will tell the global, the cloud revenue will grow up to 17% in 2020 to $266.4 billion. And the software as a service we call simply SaaS is the largest segment. I will talk about SaaS later. And the projecting figures are 116 billions in spending this fiscal year. However, the infrastructure service is projected to be the fastest growing cloud segment in this year 2020, expecting 24%, nearly 50 billion in revenue model. The market watch normally the market trends they watch what they observed is between 2018 to 2022 the global cloud revenue will grow from $197 billion to $355 billion. Then who is leading in the cloud computing? As of the segment current as of now, no doubt the Azure AWS is a biggest take, nearly occupied 33%. Then why I'm talking about Azure? So based on my previous presentation, like this presentation, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move into the next slide, which is talking about this part. 1 second, this. Okay, let's go this one. Okay. Are we go with the AWS or Azure? Which is the good for the future? So I'm not debating, because if I'm debating, my best bet is always Microsoft. So I'm not going to debating on this area. But I can say Microsoft is it's as I mentioned, they got $10 billion defense contract, and not only from the Microsoft, also they own the major cloud infrastructure deals. Companies like Walmart is also recently gained the deal for the Azure. And more than 95% of the Fortune 5 companies are using Azure. So, and another advantage for the Microsoft is it is a 30 plus years industry. 30 years industry we call in Telugu movies, so like 30 years industry. So this is also Microsoft is also like 30 years industry, and it has 68,000 plus partners, and it crossed nearly now not 90 more than 90 plus certification, and it is occupied in 55 regions and 140 countries. If you look at in India here, we have a available region is available in west coast of India, and central India, and one in South India. These are all the blue dots are the current available regions in Azure. And announced ones are they are announcing soon in Mexico Central, Spain Central, like these areas. And availability zones are marked or dotted with a white dot. So this is for the clear understanding sake. And talk about not only Walmart, I'm not talking on only Walmart. The Boeing is using, FedEx, Toyota, Bank of America, HP, UPS, Coca-Cola. I'm from Atlanta. I'm proud to say Coca-Cola is my hometown of Atlanta. We call Coca-Cola, and Delta Airlines is the hometown of Atlanta. So Delta and Coke is the default, people proud to say we are from Atlanta, and Coke is our product. And jet company, Lufthansa, whatnot, everywhere Azure is established and growing rapidly in the market. So this is about little about Azure. And now we're going to what Azure is going to be providing. As I mentioned, speed, scale, and economics. These three are the factors in the cloud environment. These three are the primary and the top notch for the Microsoft. And they're going to beat anywhere with any competitor. And what Azure is providing? Azure is providing security, scalability, worldwide access, hybrid capabilities, and the flexibility. These are the most advantages of the Azure. Why Azure means if somebody says this is the one. If you are talking about more about, we'll talk already about all these things in upcoming slides and all these areas. And then coming to the models. So we have three majors: ISaaS, it means infrastructure as a service; PaaS, platform as a service, SaaS, software as a service. ISaaS, we call it as move it. PaaS, we call it as built with it. And SaaS is called use it. I say use it means, say for an example, Microsoft Office Suite is a SaaS. Office 365 is a SaaS. It's a software as a package. So you just use it. Always use it is always is a less. You want to develop it, maybe little bit expensive. You want to be do it from the scratch. That is ISaaS model. So I'm giving a good example here how the things like this is on premises. On premises data centers we call on premises. So, and then ISaaS, infrastructure as a service, PaaS, platform as a service, SaaS, software as a service. So, on premises, you are the responsible for everything. So, obviously, there is a more burden and more responsibility. The cloud offering these three, let's talk about ISaaS. In the ISaaS model, you don't worry about all these things. The one in the orange color, you don't worry about all these areas. The provider will take care of these areas. You only manage your operating system and your middleware systems and your applications. In the PaaS model, you don't even worry about even operating system. You just run your application, run your data. That's enough. In the SaaS model, you don't worry about all these things. The provider here in my topic, provider means anybody, either AWS, Azure, Cloud, Alibaba, or XYZ. So this is the basic understanding of the cloud structure. And moving to the next slide, what Azure offerings? Okay, this is the basic area. This is the graphical, but now I'm going to show you how I can work in the area. I will insist the people who are not using Azure so far or at, I will recommend you to go and register Azure free portal.azure.com, which is a first month is a free trial. And they are also giving $200 additional for, what I'm saying is like, package. Once you completed, so what you're going to do is use the subscription called pay as you go. The beautiful model. You only pay what you use. So I recommend you people to register. You build the environment scenarios, keep it for 1-2 hours, explore yourself, destroy it. I will tell you. So mine is like, monthly, I'm getting the month of May, I got the billing after doing a lot of exercises. I got my bill is nearly 36 cents a month for entire my using of all these things. And this month I got like $5 bill because I keep some of the resources for a couple of days. So click on here. So here portal.azure.com, and you see this part, it is ARM, ARM. The previous one is classic, but now still they're using. Here is very simple. I want to click in Azure. Everything is called resources. In AWS, we call instances. Here we call anything is a resource. You want to create one data center. Okay, bingo. I want to create one data center. I'm doing right now in front of you guys. Okay, my subscription level is pay as you go. The beauty of ARM is a resource group. The advantage of the resource group is you create an environment. You don't worry to single one by one delete. You just delete your resource group. It's gonna wipe out entire thing. So later we'll talk about. I don't have any resource group, so I'm going to be creating a new resource group. It's called, let me give JNTUK-RG, means resource group. And the virtual machine name is JNTUK Win 2016 is my virtual machine name. I'm near to the regions. You can create anywhere in the world. Since I'm in the eastern side of the US country, I will pick East US. Okay, forget about this one. They have available to join and available to set. We will talk about these things in our future seminars. Like whoever there's a keen interest in the Azure, definitely we'll talk about all these things. Spot instance, no at this moment. Spot instance is like, Azure will give you very, very less price, but when they need, they will take it that way. And the size, here you can select your size. I can select whatever my size, like, I can select one CPU you want, or you want a two CPU, you want a four CPU, and they have the price also. $91.98 cost per month this is the cost of the bare metal price. So okay, I selected this one. And okay, username, okay, Azure user, it is already I have, and I'm creating a temporary password. And okay, match. Okay, most of the organizations, the default port is 3389. Everybody knows is the RDP default is 3389. And for the partition, default SSH is 2022. So organization, normally they don't allow this part. I'm telling honestly, they don't use any public inbound ports. They don't encourage most of that. They will use private. If you need public, then they don't want to use this port. They will use something export, not RDP, default RDP ports, default SSH ports. They're not going to use for the security reasons. And save money. Here is BYOL, bring your own license. So most of the people, that we use KVM servers in our organization for the software distribution, license distribution. So if you have your own license, you don't need to worry about Azure to purchase another license. You can use the same license, but at the moment, in my case, I don't have anything. So I'm just click no. And the next one is disks. So Microsoft offers standard HDD, standard SSD, and premium SSD. So you have their varieties. You can choose whatever. Everything is price matters. Okay, at this moment, I'm using this one. I'm encouraging to do encryption, disk encryption. That is the safeguarding the data. And the default, obviously, the micro. Yeah, hello, sir. You have any question? Guys, are you guys hearing me?
Yes, your voice is clear.
Okay. So if you have any questions after this, the one completed, and then I will give you a pause of this one, and then we can continue. So here, the default is Microsoft is adding the C drive. And then you want to more drives, like, in Windows, normally we use a C drive, and also we use P for the page file, and D for the data, L for the logs, you name it, whatever, you can select your here, the disks. Okay, at this moment, I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to the further networking. Okay, here I don't have a network. Here, the virtual network, here, this is what I'm doing all the way. We are following a lot of securities here. So I'm creating my own virtual network. I'm creating my own subnets. I'm giving not my public IP. No, I'm not giving my public IP. If I want to give my public IP, and then I have to give the public IP. Okay, at this moment, okay, I'm not interested. I'm not giving any public IP. And the network securities group, yes, NSG we call, that is the most important for the security people. These are the network. This entire zone is for the network people and the security people. And the public inbound ports, I'm not doing anything at this moment unless you want to add something. We will do that one in the later on. And the load balancing, I'm not adding any load balancing at the moment. I'm just creating one server. I'm just going. Next one is the management. Okay, for this one, monitoring purpose, Microsoft insist and recommend to boot diagnostics, OS guest diagnostics, because something tomorrow happens to the system. We need to get why the system is down, why this system is suddenly rebooted or shut down. So you need some the boot diagnostic and OS diagnostic you will get from the logs. Okay. And rest of thinking here, enable auto shutdown. This is another beauty spot is, say for an example, you are preparing a development box and you work morning 9 to the 5 o'clock in the evening, and you don't want to use that box from 9 to evening 5 to next day in the morning night. So you can set up that box, because here every 1 hour is a count. Every minute is a count. So you want to save money, then auto shutdown. But in the production environment, in organizations, they don't use this option. You want to take a backup? Yes, I want to take a backup. Do you have any existing backup here? If I don't have, no. Then you want to create a new one? you can create a new one. So I don't have any existing one. I'm creating some vault, and I'm creating the resource group for the backup. And then I'm creating some policy. You can create a policy like, normally, like, every day night, 11 o'clock, or quarterly, weekly, weekends like Saturday, Sunday, take a backups. You can do whatever. Okay. And then next one. So sorry, I'm deleting this part. The reason is I'm not taking the backup at this moment. That's why I'm really releasing. And the next one is advanced. Here, the most people use generation 1. And the next one, the beauty of this part is tags. The tags is nothing but easy identification. Say, for an example, tomorrow I'm writing something, application value JNTUK test server. Okay, application owner Chakravarti, and then I say cost center 100. I'm just giving some things, and the next one is review and create. In the review model, it is reviewing your basics, disk, networking, management, and advanced tags, and I am passed by the validation part. If I want to do the similar exercise for the similar thing, I can download the template and I can do the automation. The beauty is nowadays nobody want to do the regular jobs, even for the organization not using for the auto password unlocks, auto password changes. Every companies are doing this. Back in old days, we used to every user, hey, my account is locked, can you please unlock? And then we have a people sitting there, okay, can you please tell your username and then change the password? No, that's all. No, everything is automation. The less workload, we use more proactively and productively. So whatever you're doing on the day-to-day business in the manual jobs, just get out from them, make it them as an automation. Okay, now I'm saying create. So here on there is a icon called bell. The bell will tell you your deployment process, what it is going on this one. Okay, why I'm doing portal.azure.com? Is there any other ways we can connect to the Azure? Yes, why not? We can connect Azure in other ways. Okay, the other ways are you can do dev.azure.com. This is the best playground for the Azure, any developers. So where you can create your own account. This is my account, and you can create your own pipelines, CSE pipelines. You can create your artifacts, your test plans, your GitHubs, repositories, everything you can do your own. And then what other areas we can connect? Okay, I will tell you. Another area is shell.azure.com. So I have my directory, CSE pipeline. See, some people are interested in the command line. So we need to encourage them to. Okay, it is connecting. Okay, now I'm connecting to my account. CONNECT connect AZ account. Okay, so here, see, it is not just not connecting. It is asking me to authorizing. This is another security. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm authorizing this account is mine. And this is my account. Bingo. Now you can see here. You connected. Azure account. Okay. So this is about things, and I'm just going to see what is the process of our current one. Look at the things. You just created a virtual machine, but here what else it is creating? Watch this area. Deployment is underway, but it is creating several other things. Okay, we'll talk about when it is completed. Now, before jumping to the Azure security fundamentals, I'm giving a pause to you, And do you have any questions in a short break, like 2 to 5 minutes? Anyone? Any interested? Okay. Let's jump into our fundamentals. And before going to the fundamentals, everybody, like I have a lot of encounter, like, sir, what we do, like, Suresh, is there any best way? How do we tune our career? So this is the Microsoft path. I connected this one from the Vij Labs is providing this certification. Anybody interested, the basic exam is AZ 900. Azure 900. It is a basic theory exam. I don't know how much fees you're charging in India. I heard like between 5,000 to 7,000 rupees for this exam. In the US, we collect the charging $165. So this is the path for the development side, DevOps side. And this one is 104 for the administrative areas. And this one for the security areas. And that this is the one, the top gained certificate is expert certificate. If you go with 303, which is a technology architect, and when you can finish the technology architect, and then you go with the design architect, and then you will gain the expert level certifications. And then it also, like, for the different paths here, data science, and for this one, artificial intelligence, and all these areas, like different Microsoft is offering all these areas. So it is a very good career. My best bet is, if you are a SQL developer, stick to the SQL area into the Azure. If you are an administrator, infrastructure guy, go to the administrative, like 104. Like that, developers go and choose the development path. Okay. For this, any questions offline, which I given my contact in my first slide. This is my contact, my email, karothu@gmail.com, and giving openly my phone number. You feel free to give me a ping, a message, or an email, so that definitely we'll talk about, and we can share our knowledge together. Okay. Coming to the security. I'm leaving that session, the Azure building session aside, keep aside. And now coming to the security, the Microsoft offers a comprehensive set of compliance offering to help your organization comply with the national, regional, and industry specific requirements governing that collections and the use of the data. If you are most of the government companies, you want to maintain a data center, you need to follow a lot of the security, like HIPAA compliance or ISO, blah, blah, blah. And look at all this one. Microsoft is over certified. Microsoft is everywhere now. So you cannot say no to this one. So it is certified by everything. They're superly maintaining all the compliance. So that is another beauty why people are choosing Azure. And this is the another one. The beauty, how we are security giving this part. Okay. This is the Microsoft is offering, like, is a state of art of the security that powers a real-time threat protection, response, and remediation. Here, the struggle is real. The security professionals today face a series of challenges in their effort to protect company and employee data across existing networks, cloud apps, and mobile devices. So nowadays, nearly 69% of enterprises are using multi-cloud, hybrid cloud environments. Multi-cloud or hybrid, both are the same. Like, the digital transformation is dissolving in network boundaries and expanding the attack surface to the new devices, users, applications, and platforms. So when you are expanding, you are easy to attack. So we are giving a scope. At the same time, how we are tightening. So Microsoft and partners to combat cyber threats by using intelligent security graph. This is one of the beautiful state-of-art Microsoft product. Using machine learning models and artificial intelligence reason over the vast security signals to identify vulnerabilities and threats. So we talk about more about on this area, but okay, time. Chakravarti sir, so how much time I have still?
Now it is 9:36. Till 10 we have.
Okay. Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. So I'm not following. Maybe I'm just asking the question like, that how much time I owe. So using a connected system of continual learning of the Microsoft is detecting and remediating phishing attempts. What are the phishing attempts? The, that the most major is like, 4 components, any attack, like, the attack, identification, action, and the mitigation. So how it going to work? The phishing, the attack that says is an example, a user receives a well-designated phishing email on a personal email. That is attack. The identification, the Windows defenders, like Microsoft own security tool is Windows Defender, like not an antivirus we have, and then what else tools we have? Several tools in the market, like not an any other security tools you guys know? Okay. Like not an antivirus we have, and I forget some of the most things. Okay, not in my mind. Okay, so the identification, the Windows Defender, which detects unusual activity on the device and it alerts. What is the action? The Office 365 began to block the email. What is the mitigation? The mitigation, Windows Defender initiates an automated investigation on all potential devices to determine if the other machines have been affected, how securely it is doing. So that's how the Azure is providing the security. Say for example, if it is not in the email, if it in the web, same, the attack again, and then identification, and then action, and then mitigation. So detecting the advanced threats, same, like any advanced set that threat, like the attack, the Azure Security Center detects an application on a VM that may be miscoordinating as a common appliance and unauthorized users. Say for an example, most probably like attacks on the VM level is brute force attack is a most common default. So how we are not only using the Microsoft product, sometimes most of the in reality we don't rely on 100% on the platform. We have some our inbuilt tools like vulnerabilities. Normally, most of the US they use for their PCI compliance, Qualys and Nessus. These two are the popular tools for the vulnerabilities, and some companies they use even Rapid7 also to identify the vulnerabilities on our environment. And then we will work on the remediation to make sure our environment is nice and tidy and it is well protected. So the basic thing is 2 things: simplify security with built-in controls, detect threats early with unique intelligence. So these 2 are the basic points in this area. We'll talk about it. Okay. Simplify security with built-in controls. What it means? So I can define in the 5 areas. One is manage identity and control access, and second one is secure your network, and third one is safeguard your data, and the fourth one is key secrets and certificate management, and the fifth one is get centralized visibility and prevent attacks. And the second biggest point is detect threats early with unique intelligence, which we talk about the beauty of the state-of-art Microsoft Intelligent Security Graph. Okay, I'm coming to manage identity and control access. So here I given some of the things when you're talking about manage identity threat. Okay, so which is a threat? Give me a second. I'm just taking a water glass of. Talk about this one, point number 1, which is a threat identity as the primary security parameter is a shift from the traditional focus on network security. The best solution is Azure AD for identify and access management. I'm talking here the name Azure AD. Azure AD means like let we go back to our thing. Just want to see, make sure. Okay, where deployment is completed. Superb. Okay, I'm going to the home. I'm going to my resource group. The resource group is JNTUV resource group. So while we creating this one, I'm just bypassing this part and just don't worry about this area. I'm talking about AD. Azure Active Directory is the one. So here we have a lot of things we can talk about it. Really, honestly, I'm telling. So these material we'll talk about in future areas. Okay, so Azure Active Directory is a multi-tenant cloud-based directory and identity management service from Microsoft. It combines the core directory services, application access management, and identify protection into a single solution. And coming to the point number 2, the centralized identify management. This is the hybrid identity where we integrate on-premises and cloud directories. Integration enables the organization IT team to manage accounts from one location, regardless of where an account is created. This integration is also helps your users to be more productive by providing a common identity for accessing both cloud and on-premises resources. Most of the organizations, they're not jumped just into the cloud. They are still using the on-premises because they need some backup. They don't trust 100% at this moment that people are slowly migrating. So I don't want to use on-premises Suresh K for the cloud, Suresh K cloud. I don't want to use two different user accounts. So using Azure AG Connect, Azure AG Connect is another tool where you can connect with the Active Directory, on-premises Active Directory to the cloud. So you can use the same single username for the cloud also. And the point is 3, we're talking about manage connected tenants. Organizations must ensure that the security has visibility into all the subscriptions connected to the environment and network in Azure Active Directory can elevate their access to the user access administrator role to see all the subscription and managed group connected to your environment. And the next one is which one? Single sign-on. We're talking about single sign-on. Multiple identity solution is hard to manage, as I mentioned already. So single sign-on is the another best bet for the organization. Every organization, and back in old days, Windows is not authenticated to the Linux. For the authenticating Linux, we have the Linux. We use some free tools, PAM tools. Some tools we use for the PAM tools. For the Microsoft AD, and then later there is an integration. LDAP integration came, and then we integrated a non-Windows form into the Windows form, and then we connected. Now everybody, okay, if you want to send it to the computer, I don't want to remember any password. I don't want to remember multiple password. I want one single password for my laptop, for my office, email, for my server level access, for my application. I want to use one single password, one single username. That is single sign-on. We call, and this at this moment I can see more in the market is Okta that is doing a fantastic job. Likewise, conditional access. The best practice for this one is manage and control access to the corporate resources. For this one, configure common Azure AD conditional access policies based on a group level, location level, and application level. Look like I have some questions. I think we have any chart. Okay. Okay, sorry, McAfee. Yeah, this is the one. Thanks for the this not popped in my mind, McAfee. And Casper Key is another best bet. Thank you for reminding me. Okay, let me take this. Okay, thank you guys. Yeah, sometimes like situation like I cannot say like maybe I forget the things. Okay, likewise, you have a user role-based access controls and a lower exposure on a privileged accounts. Privileged accounts, normally, we don't give them much privilege. Normally, any privileged account is like nothing but service accounts. Say, for an example, you don't want to log in as a Chakravarti as a SQL instant username. No, We call that SQL Server service, something like that. And that service account, we don't give any RDP access, or we don't give any PuTTY access. We have to restrict. No. This all the security. Security is not something like only Azure is means security. Azure is just a platform, just like AWS is a platform. Your data center is a platform. Your VMware is a platform. On the top of your platform, you are building the applications. So I'm just asking, like, guys, rather than I just need a more interaction rather than like, we're talking like this session, like, just I'm giving a little 5 minutes. You treat me like, I'm asking, I'm requesting to breathe my, I'm not a TV anchor, like, continuously speech. I'm not even a professor. So Chakravarti sir, just give an unmute to the guys and interact. That will be great to me. Anyone? Please unmute your.
Anybody want to talk? You can unmute yourself. I've given the option of unmuting yourself. You did not raise a hand. Directly you can unmute and you can talk.
Yeah, Suresh Garu, it was a great information, Andy. I'm still learning Azure. And at our work, we have implemented Azure. Well, I have not done, but a lot of our team members have done that. And I see that, there is Azure AD on-prem and on-prem AD and also Azure AD, just like you mentioned, hybrid AD. And the only difference I see is I have to set my password on-prem could be different from Azure AD. So it seems they are not fully synced. Is that possible? Or I was thinking there are two different systems. If the accounts are different, passwords are different, that means they are two different systems. Not
I got your question, sir. May I know who is speaking? Your name, please, sir.
This is Srikanth Tripati.
Okay, Srikanth Garu. So what
Yeah.
I'm trying to say is, what you guys saying is, yes, obviously Azure at this moment we are using a different username with a different password. But ongoing, eventually, when you are moving from on-premises to the cloud, definitely it is one. But at this moment, the Azure AD Connect, because still, if you for the logging sake you are using, but the whatever you deployed the VMs, you're using the Active Directory. The Active Directory from the on-premises you have called ADFS, Azure Active Directory Federational Service, is connected
You're
to
right.
the Azure AG Connect. That's where the syncing. So in Active Directory, again, we'll talk about that is another ocean, sir. Active Directory, we have RODCs, we have domain controls and read-only domain controls. We have different everywhere. And Federation Service, we connect to the AG Connect. That's where we are inside the VMs or the resources, not I don't say VMs. In the resources, you're still connecting with the on-premises AD. But to connect to the Azure portal, still we are using the different username and password. That is correct, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Srikanth Garu. And any more, sir?
Sir, instead of keeping in the chat box, you can talk, you can interact with the Suresh.
Okay. Okay, not a problem. Thank you.
Participants.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Go ahead, sir.
If nobody is talking, I will take the opportunity again.
Yeah. Please interact.
Yeah.
And, some Tarun Singh raised his hand.
Yeah, go ahead, Tarun.
Hello, Tarun.
Guys, this is a really, I'm needing a session where we interact and we share our knowledge.
Srikanth Garu, you can talk, sir.
Thank you, Andy. Sir, Suresh Garu, if we had to talk at your level, we had to learn a lot. It's not maybe a couple of lives of learning we need to do. Anyway.
What is your question, sir?
Yeah, we have recently migrated our TFS to Azure DevOps. And fortunately, I was, of course, with the help of a contractor, I could able to get that done In the process, I have learned a lot. And we are facing issues in terms of setting up release pipelines. We could able to successfully set up the build pipelines, but the release pipeline, setting up publishing to the Azure app service, we have we are missing something. The service connections are not happening. And I had to let you know that our Azure DevOps is a hybrid of, I wouldn't say on-prem, but it's a on-prem software installed on Azure.
You can say, sir, most of the companies now, even though they are creating the pipelines, the SQL servers are still in the on-premises.
No, actually SQL Server is Azure SQL, but the Azure DevOps server is on the Azure VM. Because we are in the federal government and the Azure DevOps is not FedRAMP certified. So we had to get the software installed on the VM.
Okay, are you using government cloud or are you using hybrid cloud?
Government cloud.
Okay, here the things I'm telling honestly. First is public, private. I'm telling the order: public, private, government. These three. Whatever you see public is 100%. Everything is open. Private, not everything. Government, not everything.
True.
I faced a hell lot of situation like in a previous, Are Baba, cloud is offering this one. I used to fight back in 2015 with Microsoft callers. Oh, I can see this opportunity. They said, no, that not came into the government cloud.
Yeah.
So the lot of compliance matter. So honestly, for your question, maybe any issues we need to talk more about in details, what exactly the connectivity and the credentials or something the code. Somewhere we need some missing the loop. So I recommend you for personally, Srikanth Garu, if you see my screen, the dev.azure.com, go and create your own test beds, your CI/CD pipelines. You practice yourself and you create an environment. You destroy the environment. It does not even cost. Maybe honestly, it cost maybe. As I mentioned, my earlier case, my May month Azure bill is 36 cents. Not even a dollar. Not even a dollar. But I do hell lot of things.
That's very nice.
Just on the June month, I'm just gone my bill up to $5. That is the biggest bill in my Azure.
I'm just taking that note, dev.azure.com. That's very inspiring. Yeah.
Very inspiring. The way I'm telling is here it offers all the GitHubs, your pipelines. You can create your repositories, whatever the repository, doesn't matter. And the shell is the one, it will accept the PowerShell and the Bash also.
Oh, wow.
Both you can write in the Bash, but I'm a Microsoft guy. I came from the Microsoft, so I use only PowerShell. The PowerShell is nothing but our back in old days. We use MS-DOS, Microsoft Disk Operating System, DIR. Same commands, does not. Same. Everything.
That's good to know.
Yep. So it is a different ways to explore your things. For the storage people, Storage Explorer is there. So you can upload front and back files. And here also I can do my chipping, I can upload my files straight to the portal. Normally what I do is I will do my PowerShell scripts, interactive PowerShell script, create a VM, create a resource, all this I will upload here. And then I will execute by calling in the cloud. So doing the GUI, Microsoft is why the Microsoft is famous GUI, and everybody says GUI is not secured, blah blah blah, and then that's why the CLA came in the line. Now the Microsoft is understand. Microsoft is not not like in back in old days. Oh, we don't entertain any Oracle products in our queue. We only do our own shop. We have a SQL. No, not Microsoft. That is gone. Microsoft understand the global business, so they are adopting everybody.
True.
They're taking the Oracle, they're taking everybody. And if you go to here, you can develop your own stuff here. And at the same time, you can build your own, Microsoft is offering, these are the major areas, what I can say, what not, man. 1 second. How can I get this part? Dashboard. Not this dashboard. the resources, like, what resources it have. That's what my intention to show.
You want to, resource groups?
No, not resource groups. I just want to say, like, the commute, everything is come on the left-hand panel, like, virtual machines, load balancers, like that. We have a lot of things coming, all services, sorry, the services. See, okay. See, the basic point is compute. You can create a virtual machine. If you're not virtual machine, say for an example, I will give you, I'm giving a sideline because since you asked a question. So deploying a virtual machine cost bare minimal price is $100, where you have to pay for the metal price, bare metal price, renting. You're not owning, you're renting. But I recommend, rather than creating a virtual machine is ISAS model, go to the PaaS model. You create an app service. In this service, you don't need any virtual machine. You're going to the PaaS model. So say for an example, if the ISAS model, if spinning a VM cost is like $100, in the PaaS model, it is $50. I'm telling honestly, you always tell to your company how to save the money. Most of the people I noticed in our Indian culture, people, we always thought about the work. No, go with the numbers. Show the numbers. Show your worth. How much you save to the organization. You talk about a virtual machine. I created a PaaS model. Your billing is $100 per month, $50. I'm saying multiplies 12 years, 12 months, 12 multiplies 5, $600 I'm saving. Think in the bigger way. Okay, any more, sir?
Good learning. Thank you.
My job is I'm trying to do the best what you can do. Okay, so I'm pushing, not insisting the people, but I'm telling there is the best way. Like, by the way, before we created a virtual machine, by creating the virtual machine, we created our own virtual network. We created our own storage account. These are all securities. Apart from the virtual machine, we have created our own network security groups, our network interface, our disk and disk encryption, blah, 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 all these things. We got it. And tomorrow I done my job after this class, and bingo, I just delete the resource group. Simply delete resource group. One single button. If I say yes, all gone. And on sites. I will tell some diagnostic. Okay, advisory recommendations. So I created resource group. I just want some advisory from the Microsoft, like, what is the best bet, how I can secure my environment. So let pop up this part. Maybe it takes see list of your following. Okay. So normally Microsoft recommends, like, hey, you don't have an agent. Hey, you want something like, threat protection or something. Your disk is not encrypted. Your network security group is weak or something like that. You can write your own policies here for every VM. Like here, I go to the VM networking. This one I missed. Okay. So I can write on my own inbound rule. So I want to inbound rule. I want to add some port, like, maybe previously to connect my port, like, different port, I will give RDP. You can write and you can add any port. You can write your inbound rules. You can write your outbound rules, and you can do your load balancing rules, everything. And security. There is no recommendations at this moment, but it will pop up when you do something. But you can write your own security policies, and you can do whatever you do. Okay, going back to my presentation. Okay, this talk, we talk about this one, and network security. So use strong network controls, which we talked about it. And in network area, these people more understanding about the signals, subnets, and the controls, network controls, and approaches, and the routing behaviors, and virtual network appliances. Virtual network appliances, like Microsoft offers its own firewall. At the same time, Microsoft offers that Microsoft encourages nowadays. Microsoft, you can put your own third-party firewall, like a F5 load balancer. You want to do, okay, I don't want a Microsoft tool, I want my own thing. Then we can offer, the Microsoft is offering to use that third-party appliance, but you have to manage that part. And deploy perimeter network for security zones, and exposure internet dedicated WAN links. Like most of the organization, as Srikanth gar may understand, or some other people, most of the people here may, you guys know, like SD, site-to-site VPN, express routes. So from on-premises to the Azure, and we do like this one. And from the office laptop to the how we connect with our secure VPN. We have tunnels with our secure networks. Only we connect that ones. We are not connecting just like that. Organizations are more productive, are proactive than us. They are more concerned about the security, because the security breach is nowadays easy. Everybody is trying to hack anything. At least they're trying. The most real hackers does not harm. I'm honestly taking the guys who are trying to do this activity, they're the more dangerous than the real hackers. Okay, the last point is disable RDP and SSH access to the virtual machines. Likewise, in our virtual machines or in any servers, administrator, most people not nowadays, almost like 5 years back, people are not using administrator, admin. These are gone all. And they're not now even accepting the default RDP ports and SSH ports to access the networks. They're giving they're encouraging coming up with a new port number with 6-digit number or 5-digit number to encourage to use that port to connect the appliances or the resources. And the safeguard the data, that is very important. Protect data is the matter. That is the reason we have keys, storage account keys, and all these things, and the key management solution, which we talked. Even here also we have a storage account. I have a storage account here, JNTUV. Okay, I have access keys. So only the people can access who has the keys. I can configure, I can encrypt these ones. I can, most of the, say for an example, Srikanth suddenly came into my company and want to visit one day, and then he wants some access. I don't create an access for him entire day. And enter for him an account, one creation of one account and disabling. There's a big, for that, in that case, normally the Microsoft, not Microsoft, everybody offers just in case account, just in use. Like, like a couple of hours, we'll create within 24 hours, the account is automatically going to be disabled. Bingo. So advanced security, lot of options here to protect the environment. And as I mentioned, like, key secrets. Okay, I think this one will disable. Okay. Secure workstations, very important. Your email, that is very important. And browsers is very important. And how you are moving the data, that is very important. And secure email, document, and sensitive data. These are all the matters. This Microsoft offering a beautiful products, and inbuilt products are using to monitor all these activities. And the next one is a key secret and certification management, authentication and key vault roles. We have a Microsoft offering key vaults, which is already shown. And the second one is centralized visibility and prevent attacks. That one is Microsoft Security Center is offering these things, and this is one of the best tool is offering in this one, where you can see your security, your threats, and every area. And don't rely on, honestly, I'm telling, don't rely on totally on this one. At the same time, we use our third-party tools, which I mentioned, like, different tools in the market, third-party security tools in the market, or every organizations, they use multiple tools. And look at that intelligent security graph. So how the Microsoft, I think we have a beautiful conversation with Chakravarti Garu like a couple days back, and we exchanged our information. I mentioned like Microsoft hardly have like 3,500 security experts around the globe. They keep working with their teams on a day-to-day, every second. So if you look at that one, 470 billion emails analyzed every day. I'm telling, and 6.5 trillion threat signals they will analyze daily. They will analyze signal. Threat means threat, whatever it is, a harm, medium, light, medium, lower, does not matter. But 6.5 trillion threat signals they will analyze every day. And enterprise popularity, 90% of the Fortune 500, 1 billion Azure user accounts. These are all the numbers I'm telling. I'm giving get a glance this one, but as I mentioned, the PDF copy I'm going to submit to Chakravarti and Shivagaru, and you can collect from them. So the Microsoft Intelligence Security Graph is like vast, and they totally like in every second, every minute they will work on different threats and activities, and they will monitor, and they have a team, and they always try to protect the environment from the threats. This is another bad guy here, not cop. He's a bad guy. He's a botnet. So how the botnet works, that is the most Microsoft Gamure, that is the guy, is the botnet guys. What they do is first their computers get infected by malwares, your local computers, and the computers log into this computer, like let's say your desktop, it is infected by malware. That one attacker, what to do, the computer log into the command center and the control server, and attacker purchases the service from the botnet, and then start attacker exploit the computer in the botnet for the malicious purpose. That malicious is anything. This is how the world. This guy is Gemiro, is the botnet. This company, I think this company I had read about somewhere. This one, just give me a second. Gemiro, the botnets. Yep. So this guy, yeah, the Gemure botnet distribution was started at December 2015. Okay. So Microsoft Defender is hardly working on these areas, and these guys are like, they use keyloggers. Keyloggers. So that's, I just give an explanation. Keyloggers, nothing but user logging the keystrokes and mouse activities, then capture everything. And rootkits, that injections. Okay. And the SOC 4.5s, form grabber, team viewers. So you don't know, like I'm sharing my screen means it's people else remotely, they control our username and password, and then they will control in the absence of our computer, and they will track the files, and they will upload and download the files and all these things, and spreaders. These are the biggest in this graph is, I think so, 2017 or 18 graph. I'm showing this part. All the red is infected. They have like 1,214 domains and IP address of the botnets connected control servers in the world. And there are 464 distinct botnets and 80 plus associated malware families. They're spreading around the world. Yep. That is the basic, and the intention of this seminar to me is I want to give as much as I can give the feed to you. And if something is interested, maybe in future, if you guys are willing, maybe I can work with the organization in a better way, like, any future sessions. So the floor is open for all you guys. Shoot me.
Yeah, thanks for the wonderful session, Mr. Suresh. I'm actually new to this Azure ecosystem. I am quite comfortable with AWS actually. So I have a question which is in comparison with AWS. In AWS, we have an option called storage gateway. So which allows us to keep our data partially on premises and partially on the cloud data centers and all. So the storage gateway is like, it's a gateway that integrates both and provides a single head service kind of thing. So do we have any such kind of service in Azure also?
As per my knowledge, as of now, no, sir. But as I mentioned in the before, you are partially maintaining the data at this moment. It is not like the beauty of the AWS is, sir, I can tell, since you are AWS guy and I'm an Azure guy, just debating purpose, I'm saying that what I noticed is AWS is offering like 100 things. Whatever comes in the mind, tomorrow AWS offers just like that. Microsoft maybe offer a less count, but they will analyze, they will exercise, and they come up with a solid solution where they can defend themselves. That's why their count is less, but they're constantly growing. But point to your question, as of my knowledge, there is no such thing, sir. If as per my knowledge.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Suresh Garu, there is a question from Akash. Can we create chatbots in Azure?
Yep, why not? Here the thing is like, one second. There are two models, sir. In the okay, I'm using our own thing only here only. May I know who is speaking, sir? Or who is the caller?
The question is from Akash, a student from
Akash.
JNTUV Kakinada.
Okay, Akash. Okay, Akash. Here I created a resource groups just built for this lab purpose. So I want to create chatbot. You can in Azure there is a called marketplace. Okay, I'll type marketplace. Okay, I got marketplace. You can search for anything. Here you go. We have multiple varieties of chatbots here. You can click, okay, I want some free trial is there. Okay, something is showing. I want to create a software plan, SMB, enterprise corporate. You can create some chatbot. Some people are like, using ISAS model, but I recommend go with PaaS model, sir. Akash, if you want to go with the PaaS model, then ISAS model. If it is like this, okay, here, look at this one, $1,890 per month, this price, chatbot prices. But if you create your own virtual machine, one Linux box, and connected to the chatbot service provider, maybe that price is going to be lesser. Yeah, any questions? I hope I answered your question. Any more questions, sir?
And Suresh, for your information, this Akash is from JNTUV Kakinada campus, and he is actively participating in all the webinars in our series. So he is one of the best participant in our webinar. So he is a just first year guy.
I think the gems always comes from the research units only. I bet, like, whoever is like attending means it is not attending, like, he can spend some time going outside movies or something, but why he is attending? He is showing some interest. I appreciate, like, it does not matter whatever. You just attend the people rather than watching a Jabardast or Patas movie or shows. Spend some time on the quality. People share your knowledge, ask your questions. I bet you, sir. I really admire the people. Like, I'm really glad. Like, I can see 90 plus people joined my session today online, and I'm very glad. So, any more questions?
And also, we are giving this live on our website. So many people are attending live without joining the room.
Oh, okay. I have no idea, sir. Thank you for sharing that one. Okay.
And
So if you have no questions, sir,
there is one more question.
Okay,
Google offers containers concept. Is there anything similar like in Azure? This is from Sayed Sahul, Amin.
Okay.
Google offers containers concept. Is there anything similar like in Azure?
We have a Docker, sir. That's what here DevOps I shown here, DevOps for you guys. Here you can create your own Dockers. You can create your own Dockers, microservices, whatever you do, whatever you want to create. Your DevOps is the best product place. Whoever is asking the question, dev.azure.com. I'm doing again for you guys. For the developer playground is dev.azure.com is the developer playground where you can create your own Dockers, containers, serverless concepts, and all the serverless concepts in the dev. All the techies like infrastructure guys, I recommend don't use portal.azure.com, use shell.azure.com. The more command line is the more the Azure active PowerShell commands. You can go and Google it, all the commandlets, functions, and all these things. Even you create a VM, do not do on the GUI base. Even it is a little bit tough, try to learn from the creating the VM from the command line. Yep. So I'm just before going that one, I want to guys, whoever is there. So maybe, yeah, this is my information, and you guys can follow my LinkedIn, or you can ping me offline, and then just let me know. So I'm ready to help my fellow Indians. It is a great opportunity, Chakravarti Garu and JNTUV UK. I'm really appreciate the guys. You guys give an opportunity to share our knowledge together and win-win situation.
So thank you, Suresh Karothu. Thank you very much for your wonderful session. You told me that after almost 12 years, you are giving a lecture to Indians, and we are very fortunate that you belongs to our area, that is Visakhapatnam. So we need a long-term relationship from you, and we want your services for the student community and for the society. So let us have a long relationship. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And if you know questions, and then we're winding up this session. And thanks for joining, everybody. And you have a very blessed day ahead. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Stay healthy.
Thank you, Suresh.